What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the critically acclaimed and beloved, immensely popular 5th studio album AM by the Arctic Monkeys, a rock band from the UK. I initially did a review of AM in 2013 when it came out, but this video is a redemption review because I don't stand by my feelings of the first video. I don't think I was thorough, and I don't think I gave the album the proper chance that it deserved. And as the years have rolled on, I've really come to understand and love the majority of this record. Let's rewind to almost 5 years before we had Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino splitting fans. We had AM, a slow burn in a way that featured some up-tempo tracks, but also ones that were influenced by hip-hop, by darker stylings of rock, and once again we saw that Josh Homme influence. 2009's Humbug was produced by Josh Homme, and Suck It and See in 2011 moved in a bit of a brighter direction, but I do feel like AM was kind of a culmination of a lot of different sounds that they had tried. And I know I recently said that about Tranquility Base, but I do feel like AM is a reflection of a lot of different influences, and it was great to see Josh Homme working with the band once again. Now obviously the Arctic Monkeys were huge in the UK already, but this album even furthered their success there, seeing multiple top 10 singles, with the first 3 singles released all having questions. Are you mine? Do I want to know? Why'd you only call me when you're high? I liked that. I liked the fact that they had the questions. I even made a joke about it in my initial review, I think. Like, damn Arctic Monkeys, what are you, my mom? Are You Mine came out over a year before we even got AM the album, and that's something where it gave them some time to continue working on the album, but also see the fan reception to it. And Are You Mine is fantastic. I love the riffs on that one, the way that they build up during the verses, and then that chorus does go crazy, just like Alex Turner sings about. And then on that one, the catchy refrain really sticks in your memory, and all these years later, it's a great groove to come back to. Then we have Do I Wanna Know, which was a slow-burning rock influenced by hip-hop. You can hear that in the clapping drum, the stomp that comes in and out, and then the lyrical content where Turner seems to be questioning this girl if he wants to know what exactly is going on behind those eyes. Are there other people involved, maybe? Are there other relationships that he doesn't know about? And as this track really burns and just keeps going and going, I really get lost in the groove of it, and it took the world by storm. This was in fact their first hit on the US Hot 100, charting in the 70s, and that's something that I found to be very impressive for them, especially in a time where rock was kinda on the way out, not exactly fully out yet, but it was still great to see a crossover hit that charted worldwide, not just in the UK. I honestly love every single from this release. There were 5 of them in total, not all of them were worldwide singles, but still, they were released in promotion of the album. One for the Road has some nice falsetto vocals that trickle in, and also the guitar. It starts off very light, and then once you actually get into the song, it's a little bit more powerful, and I love the restraint from Nick O'Malley on that track, adding in some darker bass lines, and also the drumming there, and just Turner's presence on the track. It makes it very unique, very different. It's almost like something lurking in the shadows, and I love that feeling. Also, the backing vocals add a lot to that track. Then you've got something that's immensely and immediately catchy, like Snap Out of It. It's a relationship track where maybe the music video alludes to exactly what the song is about. He's talking about this girl that maybe has her eyes on another guy, and once again, he doesn't know if there's lies or deceit or exactly what's going on, but you can just enjoy the song for what it is. It's super catchy. It has some great guitar grooves to it, especially once you get to the chorus and the snap out of it, and he slides in those little riffs. Jamie Cook does a fantastic job here. The only other single is Arabella, and that one is once again a great guitar-led groove. I can jam out to this at any time. It's a fantastic cut that deserves all of the success that it saw. It's something that's probably one of my favorites in terms of singles off of this release. On Arabella, he describes this femme fatale that seems to have lured him in, and he likes describing exactly what he sees. And if you're familiar with the way that Alex Turner writes lyrics, he often just describes the scenario or the setting that he finds himself in, or one that he imagines. And here, the setup is actually pretty cool. And once you get down to it, the musicianship is really tight and nifty as well. As you go through the verses, it gives you that dark, shadowy, suspense feeling once again, but the chorus really just stabs in with those guitars and then it hammers in those drums before really breaking down into the actual guitar meltdown and a little bit more of Turner's persona in terms of vocals and letting himself unleash. The great thing about AM is that it is much more than just its singles. Sure, there are 5 great songs right there for you to dig into, enjoy, love, dissect, and just continue ingesting for years. It's something that you can come back to over and over and over again. But the deep cuts here, that's where we really start to appreciate not only the songwriting, but just the band's playing style, the way that they're able to give a variation of their styles that they found in the past, but also build on something new. Take some of the tracks like Fireside or even Mad Sounds, for example, ones that take a slower pacing. Starting with Mad Sounds, we get a little bit of a whisper after number 1 Party Anthem, which still isn't my favorite, but I do appreciate how tongue-in-cheek it is, wanting something to dance to, just looking for the song and looking for a reason to be out on the prowl on the dance floor. And it's very sarcastic in its manner, and I do feel like a lot of times Turner's tongue-in-cheek lyrics and just his cynicism, his sarcasm, whatever it might be, it often goes overlooked. But then we move into Mad Sounds, and we get something that seems genuinely kind of sweet. And then we move to Fireside, which is a little bit heartbreaking in a way because he talks about a relationship that he sees falling away and he knows that he needs to let go of someone, but he doesn't know how to go about it. And the acoustic guitars and just the almost campside feel that is obviously implied by the title, it truly is felt by the listener, and I can easily say that I keep coming back to this one as one of my top favorites now. Navigating back to the more up-tempo tunes, we have right in the heart of this record at track number 5, I Want It All. It features some great buzzing guitar tones and also just an appeal that is unique to this record and to the Arctic Monkeys in general. I'm not saying that it is their best song by any stretch of the phrase, but at the same time, they made something special that came in this record that I do feel like goes a little bit underappreciated. This is a track that I do not hear talked about, and it should be a lot more. Knee Socks not only features Josh Homme on the writing credits, but he also actually does backing vocals and some of the singing during the bridge of the track. And I love how Turner mixes up his voice there at first. He starts bringing in a different side of him, singing in a little bit of a higher register to throw things off. It seems like maybe it was distorted or manipulated a little bit. And then we have Homme coming in and singing on the cut, and it really just adds a different layer and a different depth to the track. And this one is very descriptive overall in the way that it describes a winter scene, a long-term romance or relationship, and just how maybe 2 lovers are very comfortable with each other. And Turner just makes a very dreamy scenario, and it has a light tempo to it, and it's not just airy and atmospheric though. It has a nice groove to it, and once the bass and the drums and everything really just get clicking, it's a wondrous feel and one of their most underrated tracks, I would say. Closing moment, I Wanna Be Yours is a reimagining of a poem by UK poet John Cooper Clarke. This is something where they took his original poem that was meant kind of in a comedic fashion, I believe, and turned it into a love song, an ode, or a ballad, if you will. But this is one where I can't really tell if I'm supposed to take it completely seriously, or once again, if it's being said or sung with a grin. And I'm inclined to believe that it's the latter of those, but I still kind of feel like it's a sweet song. It's just the way that he describes his love, like wanting to be a vacuum cleaner that sucks up your dust and everything like that, breathes it in. It's just a little bit over the top and dramatic, but I kind of like that because he's just going out on a limb, basically saying, you know what, maybe I am being a little bit over the top and dramatic with the way that I describe my love, but it truly is there, and I want to be yours. It's a nice tune, and I do like the guitars on this one. It fits with the vibe, and I have to praise this album overall because it has a great connectivity to it. You can see that they went in with a certain mindset, and they've done a great job at doing that with every single album that they've released. I plan on doing Arctic Monkeys ranked very soon along with the top 10. If you're excited for that, then please sound off in the comment section down below. Drop a like on this video to let me know that you're ready for more Arctic Monkeys videos. And as far as AM, this has had a surprisingly strong bounce back for me. And I don't feel like I said that my initial review was very good at all, so I'm more than happy to do a redemption review today and say that this album totally grew on me. Once I actually made myself be patient, sit down with it, I actually learned that the album wasn't necessarily boring like I had initially called it. It was something that was more reflective and had some dark mannerisms and also some really interesting and sometimes witty lyrical content. It's a wonderful record that I do highly recommend. Go revisit it if you haven't heard it in a while. If you've only heard the singles, then go revisit the deep cuts, that sort of thing. There's a link to stream it down below. At this point, for me, I've upgraded this all the way to a light 4.5 out of 5. Let me know your thoughts on AM in the comment section down below. While you're here, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, more Arctic Monkeys content and lots of other reviews and videos on the way very soon. If you want to see my review of Tranquility Base, tap here, or a review of Humbug right over here. Social media in the description, and I'll see you soon on ARTV.